professors and my dear students. It is my privilege to be here today along with you to deliver on this important theme that has been selected. Congratulations for selecting this theme because it is very apt today in today's context, and I would like to share some of my views on this. So the first part of the theme is strengthening the local economies. Strengthening the local economies, which means there's a background to the entire start of this thinking, I would say. We all saw the COVID times. COVID times really gave us a lot of learning, isn't it? Even though there was a little bit of a drawback, we started doing business in a very different way, and we could deliver many things even at times where we were not together. We were all sitting in different places alone. Maybe even with the family members we could not meet and talk and do together, but still we could deliver on all our business needs in a very different way. And this has given an important opportunity for different countries also. We also had learnings that if we are going to be dependent on other countries, our supply chains were really impacted, isn't it? We were buying from different countries, importing from different countries. So the supply chain was an impact. So there was a thought process how we should become more self-reliant, more country-driven production should be there, so that each country started thinking of different ways of handling situations that can happen in these kind of situations. Okay, so in that context, India had an opportunity to become a second destination, I should say, to China. China was a primary exporter of many goods and services. Goods, I should say, more manufactured. So India was the second destination because every country thought that they should not be very dependent on one single country, then which can kind of end up in domination. So we had an opportunity, and the government also quickly took initiatives to see how we can develop India in that sense. So today's theme is strengthening of the local economies. For example, vocal for local, as many of you all discussed very nicely on this. So which means vocal for local is strengthening your domestic production in one way, making it better, and widening the areas where we need support. So that is one part. And also giving more emphasis on MSMEs, medium and small scale entrepreneurs, to start their production, to do things differently, and then also making an inclusive culture. And we are also seeing startup giving more focus. The government is giving more focus on startup. So for example, you may also want to start different startup companies, and they're all becoming very big valuations. They just bring up some ideas, they talk to entrepreneurs, bigger industrialists, then they talk to venture capitalists, then the valuations are very, very different from what the traditional companies have been. We have seen a lot of traditional companies surviving for many years, and then their valuations compared to a valuation of a startup which is just 2-3 years old but still having very different valuation in the chain, I should say. So with this context, I would like to share some of the views. So what the government rightly did was, it said we want to become a $5 trillion economy at least by 2030. So that is the dream of the government. It is not only a dream, they have taken several initiatives to make it happen. If you see today, India has a GDP of 6.5% growth, which is the highest in all. When you compare all other countries, the GDP growth in India is 6.5%. And we are also taken many initiatives to achieve this. First, we are talking about even rural development. Okay, rural development, because agriculture, India is a predominantly agricultural country. So we need to kind of support agriculture by modern techniques, and then investments in agriculture, then educating the farmers to do better. So the production starts in agriculture, and we are able to take care of the domestic consumption and also start exporting the agricultural product. So that is very important. The second step what they have done is again MSME culture and the startup initiative. So if you see Bangalore, we have some 2-3 areas which are only talking about startup communities and how they want to deliver, participate in this growth of India story. Then the other part what we are also talking about is infrastructure development. Okay, so where all we are lagging, if you see the budget speech and the capital expenditure where the government wants to put the money in, one is infrastructure. Again, infrastructure, we need lot of development there, and there are lot of steps that they want to take care to develop infrastructure so that we can become very modern, and we have to also start improving our quality levels to deliver to the export market. So manufacturing is a very important base aspect for India for improving the agricultural part. Then the next one is on the structural and economic reforms. So again, if you see the GST, the collections in GST, and then here we would see the corporates are lagging behind, the government is very fast. If you see the GST areas, they have become more technology oriented, and then you can do many things online. You get so many reports online. So GST is a very successful project for the government. In terms of revenue, collections have improved, broadened, which gives more fund into the kitty of the government kitty. Again, if you see the income tax regulations, the regulatory aspects of it is becoming more governance rather than regulate. The regulators are putting more governance into it, and it makes life easy for the entrepreneurs, for the corporates also to deal with it. Then the other part is they have also to support all the MSMEs and the startups as well as the corporates, the tax rates, rationalization of tax rates, as well as support to the entrepreneurs by way of giving them banking support. So again, this is again like self-declaration and self-management. So you don't have to give any mortgage or while you are taking loans. You are given lot of benefits and support from the government, but you are also monitored that you are able to keep up your repayment terms and all those things. So that gets monitored, but then lot of support is there for all the young entrepreneurs to do business, and then to and they are also having regulatory support. For example, if a larger corporate is not paying their dues on time, again you have a legal support for them so that they are all getting paid on time, and the entire ecosystem is developed in that way. And they are also working on ease of doing business in India. So if the multinational companies have to come to India, invest here, the resources is really there. So they want to make use of the opportunities. Then the infrastructure is also getting built with government and private partnerships are also there, because it's not only driven by government, it's also private players also needs to be there, because it's very large investment and also has to be done in certain specific timelines. So the ease of doing business also is a very important step that the government is taking. So the people who want to invest in India, they are finding it easier to get all the approvals on time and get them started quickly. Then the agriculture and rural economy is also given lot of thrust and focus, because that's also very important for India's growth, both for domestic consumption as well as for exports. Then you have different types of the financial market. Again, the banking, the bank lending to all these people, how it should be lent, and how the banks are also getting protected if there are defaulters. So those kind of regulations are also in place now. And you are also seeing the green growth and sustainability. So you've been hearing about ESG, isn't it? The environment, sustainability. So the government is also taking a lot of initiatives on that to see what is the green energy and what are the alternate fuels for gasoline and diesel. We have this electrification of cars and all that, so that the energy dependency also needs to come down, because our main biggest import bill is only on fuel. Then again, there is initiatives on skill development. So how the corporates should help all the students to gain the relevant skills that are necessary for the corporates. That is, there is a lot of gap there I could see. Of course, the gap is getting reduced, but then a lot more to do on that line, because the corporates are not really having time to take people, then train them, and then see how they deliver and all that. So they would be more comfortable having with the desired skill set. So that is where I think we need to work together to see how the universities and the corporates, they join together to see how we can make this happen, make the students more filled with skills that are required for immediate job requirements. And then the urban development also happens. So there are different types of initiatives. The renewable energy is one concept, the ESG is another concept, then the capital expenditure where we need to spend money, and then how do we become a second destination to China in terms of semiconductors. We are investing in renewable energy, and then we are investing in the infrastructure in terms of having more rails, more number of airports to come, and then the roads are becoming better, and the quality standards also needs to improve when you have to deliver on a global level. All these things are happening parallelly, and so therefore I would say that the students, what is there in store for the students, what you need to look at now. So for you, what you need to do is you have to strengthen your core financial knowledge, be strong in your base knowledge. So that is very important. And once your base is there, then you can start developing into different requirements. So that is what you should do. And you also need to understand and get updated knowledge of the things that are happening around, because every day there's a change that's happening, and you need to know what is the government thinking, which are the green field areas that are there, and where you have to really set your career path and grow. So that is how you have to keep a watch on all these things, and then also do a good networking, have good connections, and be with the latest developments. That is a very important thing that you should be in. And of course, technology is part and parcel of finance. You can never do anything without technology. So technology and finance is very embedded together. So it's very important that you get embedded with you be a tech savvy, I should say. That's very important for you to grow, and also gain practical exposure. If you can get into internships, if you can get into some kind of courses, online courses, which will help you to get a good career break. So those are all very important things to do. And then join professional networks, attend the seminars, conferences, just to keep updated, be connected, know what are your rights, what are your obligations, and then when you're also discharging your duties, the other soft skills in a corporate will be team building. You have to work very closely with your team, collaborate well, and then start every time you must see that you're growing, you're learning in your present organization. When the learning stops, I think you need to either take a different role, or you may have to switch to a different company, because learning is where your value actually gets added. So that's very important for learning. And the other important thing is also the ethical standards. You always need to observe that whatever you do should be falling within the ethical standards, that nobody comes and points out to you on certain aspects. That's very important in a corporate culture. So all these things, I think, if you're going to the world is yours now, and you're in the right space, and India is really growing very well. There are so many opportunities that are there, and sitting in local and doing getting in dollars is very important, and it's a good thing to be in, isn't it? You earn in dollars, but you're spending in rupees. So therefore, your wealth is already going to increase very significantly. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my views with you, and wishing you a very successful event. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.